welcome back to my channel and welcome to my makeup favorites of 2021. I have a list of 21 products, wanted to keep it on with just 21 products. I'm gonna start off with how I kind of apply my makeup. I have a little bit of everything, but I would say everything is makeup wise. Skincare, I feel like I use the same skincare products. Well, I did for the makeup for the most part too. Was it just me, or last year like makeup wasn't as exciting? I didn't find any like good foundations or concealers like new. I don't know, I just felt like makeup last year was just like I stuck to using more of the products I already had, and I feel like I didn't buy as much as I have in previous years. But let's just get on with it because we all know I talk a lot. So starting off with product number one, I would have to say that this is going to encompass a few products, and the favorite was hydrating primers. I have 3 specific ones, and I know it's kind of like you're cheating, 3 products in the first. But I really enjoy hydrating primers. I feel like that's one of the things that I tried a lot last year. I tried like one from Huda Beauty, I tried affordable ones, I tried high-end ones, and I can say I stuck to drugstore affordable ones, and these are my top 3. I will use either of them. I was currently just working on this one because I ran out of these 2. So we have the e.l.f. Jelly Pop Dew Primer and the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Primer, or the Hard Candy Hydrating Primer. These are hydrating makeup gripping primers, and they work amazing. I definitely notice a difference when I don't use them, and that's very rare now. My routine is like take a shower, do skincare, moisturizer. Once that dries, apply one of these, and if I have to do something, but for sure is like already on my like skincare to apply one of these hydrating primers, and I love it. I do have oily skin and it doesn't affect it. I actually feel like my makeup looks better, and it has been so much better on the oiliness since I started using hydrating primers. Number 2, I don't have it because I ran out, but it is on my list to repurchase it. Picture right here. Touch in Sol Icy Sherbet Tomato Primer. I loved it. It's probably one of the primers that I was like, okay, this is really good all year long. I did receive it in my BoxyCharm, but it is on my list to repurchase it, and I recently saw that it's available at Ulta and it's only 20 bucks. So it is higher there in price, but definitely more affordable than other pore filling primers. And for me, that primer acts as a pore filling primer, smoothing and it pairs so well with these 3 primers that's why I love it even more, and that's why I had to just have that one as my product number 2 in primers, because I love it. It also smells amazing. Product number 3 for foundations. I only have 2 foundations, and honestly I wasn't too impressed with the foundations in 2021. There wasn't very many that I tried that I loved. I actually tried like a couple and I returned them because I didn't end up liking them. I recently tried another high-end foundation and concealer, and they're going back because I just didn't like them. But these 2 were the ones that as I was going back through my old favorites during 2021, I realized that these were the ones that I talked about the most, or drugstore ones, but you guys already know which ones those are. So the first one, and this one was in my 2020 favorites, which is number 3, Too Faced Born This Way Matte Foundation. I did try like the original formula, Born This Way. It did not work out for me. This one, however, this one is amazing. So it is 24-hour undetectable super long wear foundation, oil free, oil controlling, waterproof, and transfer resistant. And if you apply this foundation with a microfiber sponge, the velvet sponge, any brand, I love the Juno & Co ones. Those are my absolute favorites. And they're only $6. You can find them at Target. But if you apply this foundation with one of those sponges, you have to use less foundation and you get an even more flawless look, which is what I like. And this is also a more liquidy foundation compared to other matte full coverage foundations, which I love because I feel like it gives my skin more of a, how do you say it, like lifelike look, not so like makeup-y. But I mean, guys, come on, this is my everyday makeup. Like it's either I'm fully full coverage, full foundation, full everything, or I don't have nothing on. There's no in between for me. I'm not the type of girl like, I'm gonna apply the skin tint. It's just not me. It's never been me. Since I started wearing makeup, it was all or nothing. So this is absolute favorite. Oh, and I have the shade Light Beige. Number 4 is Pure 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Longwear Foundation and Concealer. Have my in the shade MN5. It's what I'm wearing today. It's another of those foundations. This one is a little more, not as liquidy as that one from Too Faced, but I think it's more so because you can use it as concealer as well. So it does have a pump and it has a little applicator if you want to use it as concealer, which I don't really do that, but it would be nice to use it as concealer. I specifically love it as foundation. Like it's beautiful on the skin, covers all my imperfections, covers everything. I just love it. Concealers. Number 5, we have Benefit Boing Cakeless Concealer. I have the shade in number 4. This is probably one of my favorites that I used all year long. Concealer was another thing that I really didn't find that I was like, oh my gosh, super impressed, love, like 20 new concealers. No, I can probably say that I liked 2 that I was impressed with. One's from the drugstore and then the next one. But this one is like a ride or die that I keep going back to. I really, really like it. This has a regular wand applicator, not the jumbo ones that every concealer started coming out with. But I like it because it's matte, but it feels lightweight, but it has a coverage. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a heavy, cakey concealer, but it has like the full coverage matte that I'm looking for without being like stark white underneath or like too cakey. Well, it's cakeless concealer. So I really, really like this one. And I like the packaging. It was kind of like, I think this came out around like back to school. That's why they made like the whole pencil look of it, which I thought was cute. Number 6, One Size Beauty by Patrick Starr. This is their Turn Up the Base Butter Silk Concealer in the shade Light 3. I like this one because it's a really creamy concealer that gives you the ability and the time to do whatever you want on your face. So I basically apply the concealer and then go in with my contour, blend out my contour, and then go with the sponge and blend out the concealer. And it hasn't dried up, it hasn't caked up, it hasn't done anything. It's just sitting there kind of like cooking under your eyes. When you blend it out, it looks so beautiful and seamless. So I like the time it gives me to do like the cream contour on my face, and I think that's one of the things that I like the most about this concealer. Number 7, we have a setting powder. Sadly, this one I think is not available anymore, but it's my favorite. I do miss it. I have continued to look for it. It does say sold out on the website, and it is Too Faced Peach Perfect Setting Powder. I do have their other setting powder, the ethereal one, and I like it, but there was something about the Peach Perfect powder that just set my makeup so beautifully. It made it last long. It gave such a flawless blurred look that I miss it. I miss it like so much. You guys have no idea. I've been on the website. I've gone on like month after month and it says sold out. The light shade specifically. The deep shade is still available, but I need the light shade, and I've actually continued to look for it like at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Nordstrom Rack. I'm like, I just need to be lucky enough to find one. And I know last year someone DM'd me on Instagram and they were like, hey girl, you know, the Peach Perfect powder is on sale. I think it was like $13 for the full size. And my dumbass was like, oh yeah, you know, I'll go later and get it. I didn't go later, like that day. I went like a couple days later and it was sold out. I would have bought like 5, honestly. That's how much I like it. And I went through a full size and I went through one of the small size ones. So I miss it. Number 8, we have Cream Contour, which probably should have been before the powder, but it's okay. We're going to start off with the one that I completely finished. And that's the Wet n Wild Contour Stick in the shade Oaks on You. And it's completely, like, I cannot spin it anymore. Completely gone. I'm still trying to use what's in there because I haven't gone to the drugstore. And when I went, they didn't have this one available. But this is definitely absolute favorite cream contour. Affordable, super affordable. I think it's like $4 or under. If you're looking for to start cream contouring, I recommend this. This is how I started. And now I ordered some from e.l.f. I want the one from Anastasia. I want to try the Huda Beauty one. I just want to try all cream contours because I'm obsessed. I love how different it makes my face and my makeup look compared to when I was just doing powder. I still go in with my powder after to do like kind of like a set, but doing the cream contour, it just, I don't know, it has changed my makeup game personally. Number 9 would be this one from Colourpop, or Colourpop's sister brand, Soul Body. This is a face and body bronzing balm in medium. Now, I will say online, this one looked, and I think I've mentioned this a few times, it looked more of a cool tone bronzer, but it is more warm in person. Although I don't mind it, I do like it, especially in the summer. It just looks so beautiful on the skin, and I don't know if it's because it's a bronzing balm. It just blends and applies so beautifully, and it blends so beautifully. It gives you enough time to blend it out once you apply it. This one does too, which is why I like it. Like, it's creamy enough, but not like too creamy where you're like, oh, this is a mess. It's like too much. No, it's just both of these are like just the perfect amount of creaminess. They blend so beautifully. I love them. So, moving on to powder bronzers, we have number 10, which is Alamar Cosmetics Brighton and Bronze Complexion Trio in Fair Light. And I talked about this so many months in my favorites, and clearly you can see why it was my favorite. Which one was my favorite? And I think the color is Pale Wear. I love the formula of their products, and I think it has to do with them being infused with hyaluronic acid that makes them so just buttery on the skin. And I like that they don't pick up any product that you have already on your skin. Of course, that could be due to the brush that I use as well, which is actually the Alamar Cosmetics brush. And I just love the combo together. Beautiful. I use this one too, and I think I use this one a little bit more now that this one's almost out. I kind of combine both, but clearly you can see this was my color. And the only thing that I would like is for these palettes to be like refillable, and once you use up one of the products, you can just buy the replacement, because when I'm completely done with whatever's left of this, I have to buy a whole other palette for that shade. And that's kind of like I'm gonna have 2 more products just sitting there. Maybe I'll pass it down to someone else so they can use the other 2 products, because that's just my ride or die bronzer color. And the formula, that's what I like about this. The formula is amazing. I just really love it. Number 11 has to be this Buxom Staycation Vibes Primer Infused Bronzer. This one, I think the primer infused aspect of it gives it that buttery, creamy, like super nice application like that Alamar one, which is why I like it so much. And this one's duotone. I use the center shade for nose contour, and then I swirl a big brush for my face. I just really like the combination, and I love this one. I love the packaging of it. I know mine looks a little like crusty dusty now, but it's because I literally use it every day, and I just love it. This is a shade Rooftop Tan, if I didn't mention it. Number 12, the only blush I have to mention is this one from Milani, and it's the Baked Powder Blush in number 3, Berry Amore. I love this. I love this so much. I just, I think this, for me and for my skin tone, it's the absolute perfect blush that I can wear with any makeup that I do. And I know, even though last year I kind of toned down the makeup looks, there were a few times that I did like super bright, like pink or berry shades, or when I did like olive green, when I do these warm tones, when I do my smoky eyes, when I do like brown smoky eyes, or just eyeliner. This blush just goes with me, and that's what I like. So it goes with any look that I do, I think, but I think it's more so that it just goes with me, and I really, really like the color. And I personally love baked blushes. This is the best. Number 13 has to be highlighter, and I think what I fell in love with in 2021 was loose highlighters, specifically these two. I know this one's sold out, unavailable, like, what is it, not sold out, discontinued. But the first half of the year I use this one, the second half of the year I use this one. I love them equally, and I think they're dupe for each other, like the color wise. So the first one is the e.l.f. times Nabella Noir, and this is Neharika Glow, the shade, and it's a loose highlighter. I actually topped off my other highlighter with it today, just because I really, really like it. Look at that nose highlight. Love it. And the formula, I think I liked the loose highlighter formula of these because I feel like it doesn't emphasize the texture on my skin as much as it does with other highlighters. So I really like that aspect of these loose highlighters. Now the other one is the Jaclyn Cosmetics Loose Highlighter in Balm, and the shade is Balm. The formula is amazing. I feel like, I dare to say it, the formula is very similar in both of them, which is why I like them, because the shade is also pretty much the same to me, which is why I tell you guys it's a dupe. I know I don't usually give like a more expensive dupe to a very affordable product, but this one's discontinued. So we're on number 14, and I have a setting spray. Well, I don't have it with me because I finished it, but here's a picture of it. Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray. I fell in love. So I did use a lot of setting sprays, but this one was just end all be all for me. It was very, very hot last year, and I feel like I did my makeup a lot compared to other years. You know, in the summer, I typically kind of like lay low, like no makeup, because the girl who has time for that when it's hot. But, you know, there was products that I was using that I was really, really loving, specifically this setting spray. It was that setting spray that you do your makeup, you set your makeup, and that is like sealed, tight, locked and loaded, like bomb. And honestly, I was shook. I was like, no, this has too much hype for, you know, it's just the hype. It's just the hype. Tried it out for myself. It wasn't just the hype. It is amazing. It's one that I know for sure I am repurchasing, and I have to have in my collection before summer, because that's a must have, especially in the summer. Moving on to eyeshadow palettes. In 2020, let me tell you that I did a whole top 20 palettes of 2020. And you guys want to know how many palettes I have to talk about this year? 4. I know, right? I was like, oh, in 2021, I'm going to add one more palette and do my top 21 of 2021. No, girl. I have 4 palettes. Of course, I did use other palettes, like once or twice, but I stuck to these 3, like, for any look. And yeah, even I was surprised. I was like, palettes. These are the ones I use all day. So starting off with Colourpop, we have the Crush palette. And this is the tiniest palette of all 4. And this is my everyday most used palette. Whenever you guys see any just like brown or kind of like warm, this is what I'm using. This just has everything that I need in a palette. It has a matte cream shade, a matte blending shade, a shimmery shade for a little inner corner pop or a little lid color, that matte with glitter flecks, shades that I love, and a matte brown. And that's, call it a day. That's what I've been doing. Number 16, I did buy a couple of Huda Beauty palettes. This definitely has to be my favorite that I bought, and it's the Huda Beauty Nude Rich palette. I love the packaging on this one as well, but I've loved her Mini Obsessions palettes since the first ones came out. I actually have them right there. And then from the Amethyst collection, and I've bought like one from different collections that she's came out with. This was from her Nudes collection. And this is what kind of started that love for the brown smoky eyes that I started doing, because this is more of a brown like burgundy, and I really liked how it was looking. So then I just dove in head first for like browns, and I was obsessed with browns. Number 17, this one was definitely another like ride or die, year round, brown smoky eyes, just beautifulness. Artist Couture Supreme Nudes. And I feel like it's the most used palette for me in 2021. The most used. It has absolutely everything that I can want in a palette. That cream shade, nudes, blending shades, a beautiful warm like mustard rusty yellow, and then that other rusty shade over here, like brown. This is a true like cool tone brown, and I love it. I feel like how like it makes my eyes pop. This beautiful shade olive green right here, and then this one, which is one of the most used from the palette, clearly. It's just amazing. I love this one. And number 18 is kind of like a sweet and sour feeling because it's no longer available. It's the Tati Beauty Volume 1 palette. And I get a little like, I know I told you guys a bunch of times, I hope Tati comes back and launches more palettes. This for me has probably been the best influencer palette that I have ever tried. Hands down. Formula, color, packaging. I personally really like the packaging, how she did it like it was a book. So when she came out with more, you would have like more volumes of books. And I thought that was so cool, so genius. And the ginormous mirror, by the way. The packaging was simple, nice and clean. And the colors. This is everything that I want in a palette. A pressed glitter row. A shimmery row. Those matte shades with the glitter flecks that I absolutely love. And the matte row. And you guys know these are my colors. So number 19, we have my Nude Lip Combo. That was definitely my favorite. And I'm going to say it, it's 3 products, but I don't use one without the other. So when I'm using one of them, it's because I'm using all 3 of them. And it was my go-to lip look. That nude ombre matte lip look that a lot of you guys asked. It was always this. So starting with the e.l.f. Retro Paradise Lip Kit Lip Liner. This one is 01. It's the darkest shade, the brown. I line my lips. And then I go in with the BH Cosmetics collab they had with Alondra and Elsy, their influencers. The shade Camel. This liquid lipstick shade Camel. I would kind of like fill in, but leaving the center blank with this one. And then I would go in with a Too Faced Melted Matte Liquid Lipstick in the color Sugar Cookie in the center. Blend everything together, and it gave me that nude ombre look. That perfection. Perfection. I really fell in love with that lip combo that I wore it nonstop. I'm literally almost out of this liquid lipstick. That's how much I wore it. And you guys can see how tiny this lip liner is becoming. So I really love that combo. Number 20 would have to be red liquid lipsticks. Another thing that I wore so much. 2021 was like the year of red liquid lipstick for me. I actually went through like 2 or 3 of them. Sephora Cream Lip Stain Has to be hands down one of my favorites. I like that it's tiny, that not tiny, but it's smaller than others. And it's easier to carry like in the clutch when you're going out and stuff to retouch. I just really like the formula of this. It's not heavy, it's not crumbly, it's very long lasting on the lips. It's one of my favorite red lipstick formulas. I love it, and I don't know why more people don't talk about those. I feel like I say the same exact sentence when I talk about that liquid lipstick. The next one would have to be Colourpop times iluvsarahii in Arriba. I really like Colourpop liquid lipsticks, and this is just like the perfect, not too red, not too cool, just a perfect red liquid lipstick. I love it. And lastly, we have number 21 was clear lip gloss. If I wasn't wearing the Nude Lip Combo or red lipstick, I was wearing one of these nude glosses. Clear glosses. I have affordable and high-end. Starting with Fenty Beauty, this is glass slippers. Fenty Beauty glosses, gloss bombs are one of my favorite formulas of glosses, high-end, and have more colors right here, but I definitely use this one the most in 2021, which is why it's here. Lime Crime Wet Cherry Gloss. I only picked these up from Ulta. I only buy Lime Crime products from Ulta, and this is extra poppin'. It's a clear shade. It's nice and super wet and juicy looking, and it smells delicious. I think that's what I like the most of this one, that it smells so yummy. And then this one I found it at Marshall's, but I really ended up liking it. It's the Stila, what is it, Beauty Boss lip gloss in transparency, literally clear. And I like it because it adds that shine and that gloss to the lips, but it doesn't make them sticky, so I really like that. And then lastly, Essence Shine 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 Wet Gloss. This is the most affordable one. It is one of the most favorites. It is a little gunky because I would line my lips and then fill it in with gloss, which is why it looks like that, but still looks clear on the lips, still looks really good. It gives that super wet look, again, without being sticky, which is why I mention it. I love it. So one of those clear glosses is always in my purse. Doesn't matter which one, it's always one of those. And that is basically it for our 2021 top 21 favorites of 2021. I'm all jumbled up. Thank you so much for watching, for all your support. And like always, I will see you all in my next video. Bye.